Good morning, everybody. Orange J here with another War of the Visions video, and today we're going to look at the old units in this game getting some love this week in War of the Visions. If you're somebody who's holding your Visior close to your chest throughout this transition to the worldwide version, you could still take advantage of units you already have getting a power-up. And this week, look, if you're a wind player this week and you have those top-of-the-line wind DPS units, I'm talking Sodally, I'm talking Flag Bear Glassy, oh my goodness, it's going to be a good week for you. You are getting some great upgrades. Engelbert also getting a great upgrade. You can see Tyrell, Elstra, Sorel also getting buffed, and then Master Ability 2s added for Dark Fina and McLeod. So we're going to look at all of those right here. I'll give you my take on them, talk about like how it affects the meta, if at all, and let's start with Engelbert. Now, Engelbert is original unit. He's been in this game since day one, and you know what? He's more or less been useful the whole game. He's still useful right now. He's still playable right now, and he gets a decent buff right here. He's going to pick up 10 single target resist, 10% agility. Okay, I love that. 10% more agility for our guy Engelbert. My goodness, did he need that. And his immortal hockey gets upgraded. This is his courage skill. We're going to look at that real quick. Now, one of the things, I guess, that has kept Engelbert so playable is his immortal fighting spirit a long time ago got 12 aggro added to it. Back in the day, when you used to play Engelbert and other tanks in the game, their main way of generating aggro was like walk into a fight, use Taunting Blade, especially if they came with a little initial aggro or they were wearing like Vow of Love. That would run out in just a couple hits, so you really needed them spamming Taunting Blade. Engelbert, when he got hate added to Immortal Fighting Spirit, it changed him, it made him super playable again, it got another use. It's getting even more now. What it's picking up is 80 elemental chain resist for 3 turns if he has Ignore Fatal damage. Big deal. One of the ways to kill tanks is just chain them down. There's a lot of multi-hit attacks in this game right now, so you could just, wombo combo tanks into the ground. It'll be harder to do that with Engelbert now with that 80 elemental chain resist. Yes, attack type resist. Yeah, you can still chain him down with attack types, but overall, a really good buff to Engelbert, who is already a playable character, is now just tankier and faster. That's kind of what he needed. All right, let's get to the good ones. Sodally is next. Sodally's Dream Ability upgrade is one of the best ones I think we've ever seen. First of all, he's getting more magic, which will help his heals and his damage, because this is a guy that can do both of those things. He's getting a little bit tankier with 10 more slash and 10 more magic resist, but by far and away the most important thing is this upgrade to Immortal Dogma. If we go look at it, Immortal Dogma was an ability he had where he gave another unit re-raise and gave them aggro. He gave them 4 hate. Obvious usefulness right here. You play him with Joom, he gives Joom re-raise, gives her some more hate, she's more of a tank than she was before, all of that. Okay, look at the upgrade of this. Look at the upgrade of this skill. It's crazy. Now, after the hate, they get 20 single target resist, 20 crit evade for the unit he buffs, and then he also gets re-raise. He also gets the 20 single target resist, and he also gets the critical evade. So he gives somebody else re-raise and himself, and gives them single target resist, and gives them critical evasion, and he still gives that other person hate and not him. One of the best support skills in the game is this upgraded version of Immortal Dogma for Sodally. Okay, not to be left behind, Flag Bear Glassy also catching her 140 this week. She is getting HP 15%. Okay, that's whatever, sure, she's a hard unit to kill, she can give herself that shield, so harder to kill is fine. Slash resist 15, okay, a lot of slash in the game right now, again a little bit harder to kill. And overall, if you just looked at those two things, you might not think her upgrade was very good. But the Taurus Cup upgrade. Taurus Cup is a support ability for her. Cup of Bull, as you see it on this page. Oh man, you know what, guys? Just as an aside, if we ever get actual simultaneous release with JP and Global, I will miss some of the translations on WoTV Calc on these videos. Cup of Bull is just a phenomenal translation. Anyway, Bull's body, which was the original version of this, was already a top of the line support ability, 15 AoE resist with 40 defense pin. You'd run that no matter what. It has previously been upgraded to be 20 AoE resist, 40 defense pin, and 25 accuracy. It is now 30 AoE resist, 40 defense pin, 25 accuracy, and debuffed weakening 30. So she'll be 30% resistant to debuffs. What this is it's good. It's really good. I think it's so obvious how good that is. This is like everything you kind of want wrapped up into one support ability. You can mix that with more defense pin and critical hit. You could go more attack and accuracy. Like you could just, it's insane. So I don't think her upgrade's as good as Sodally's, but if Sodally's is an A+, she's sitting at an A. Solid deal. And Wind is back, baby. Like the Sodally, Glassy, Joom teams. Oh, hang on. Wind is back. Now, we have Tyrell. And one of the key things with Tyrell is like nobody's really ever cared about him, and you can tell that continues to be true. He picks up 40 slash attack pin, and then we don't know what this is because it wasn't ever translated for here, so we'll see, I guess, when it goes live. And then his divine power skill gets upgraded. If we go look at divine power, it's right here. It now gives increase his HP by 20% for 3 turns. He gets 100 debuff resistance. He gets 80 elemental chain resistance. That's the thing that's being added. He gets 40 defense pin and 30 healing power. Like, that's a fine buff. Tyrell's problem is like he's a DPS MR unit at cost 50 that just really doesn't do a lot of damage. There are like 4 people out there who play this guy and love him. So if you're those 4 people, I think you should contact WoTV and tell him what this upgrade is. Because man, I feel bad for Tyrell getting that shade right there. Either way. Moving on, Elstra. Now, Elstra is a very good MR unit. Unfortunately, she's cost 60, which makes her a little bit harder to use in some cost-limited situations, but Time Mage, Rune Knight, White Mage, very powerful combo, especially for like light selection quests. She's getting 10% more agility, she's getting activation time down 150, and then her Meteor skill is getting upgraded. Now, her Meteor in particular is called Meteor Reset. What this does now is it dispels buffs for the target, buffs, haste, damage up, physical and magic, 220% modifier, so that's big, has a nice long range to it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 range, crazy, 100% increase in the modifier, so it goes up to 320% if the targets have haste, which is everywhere in the game right now, or float, which is Gilgamesh, and then it will also now give her 300 CT restore, so help her get another turn again quicker. I like it. It's a good upgrade for Elstra. She's not top tier or anything, and cost 60 definitely holds her back for cost limited, but a good unit got a little bit better. Okay, Sorel, one of the 50 cost, I would call her, man, when she came out, she was like top of the line Wind, cost limited. I don't know, like she's good. Sorel's good. I'll just keep it there. She's Strider Monk Nightblade. She's getting more accuracy, more crit evade, and Wild Impulse, one of her support abilities, is getting upgraded. Wild Impulse previously gave 25 accuracy, 40 defense pin, 40 slash attack pin. That was enough by itself to make her strong as a DPS. Like when she came out, I remember putting up like capping damage numbers with her in cost limited teams. She's now also just getting 50 reaction block rate added to that, which if you combine that 50 reaction block rate with maybe some like Trust Stone reaction block rate, I think she's a very viable option for cost limited win teams, especially at cost 50. Again, that saves you 10 cost over those 60 costs. You mix in some like Halloween Little Leela, who's only a 70. Those two together are only at like 120. And then you're looking at like maybe a Joom for a 220 cost limited win team, something like that. I think that's where she lives. And then her axe, like quick shout out right here, the AP restore on critical hit axe is pretty good to put some trust stones on. I don't hate that piece of gear either. Okay, master ability 2s. Dark Fina has been sitting in this game for a while with just her master ability 1, so she's going to be picking up her master ability 2. Which looks like this as I switch over to the JP site. Okay, so the HP and Dark Attack for the group are staying the same. Magic Attack resist pin staying the same. She's picking up 10 more magic on her magic buff, 10 single target resist, and 20 critical evade. So really, she's getting a little bit tankier, especially if she is specifically being targeted with that single target resist, and she's picking up a 10% more magic buff. So overall, I do think that's pretty good. And if we look at the global side, she already had her dream ability. So really, we're just kind of piecing that middle part in, since most units in the game had only master ability 1, then got master ability 2, then got their dream upgrade. She skipped the master ability 2 just by the way like the rollout worked. So now her catching this master ability 2 just brings her up to modern day. So she's modernized. She'll be a little bit better than she was before. Not that she needed any love. Now, speaking of somebody who didn't need any love, McLeod. Again, premium cost limited ice damage dealing unit. Really long range spear attacks, really long range missile attacks, does a bunch of damage. Great guy. And again, has a good, like his glaive right here with critical rate 15, a nice option for trust stoning out, especially if you're a newer player. Okay, previously this is what he had on global. He's another unit who already had his dream upgrade. He will now get his master ability 2, which looks like this. Group buff staying the same, HP 10% for group, mobilize resist 25, AP consumption down, goes from 15 up to 25, critical damage 25 stays the same. He now picks up 20 critical hit rate. So look, that's just it. Like his crit damage already was big, just sometimes maybe he wouldn't crit. Now he'll crit a little bit more. And then, I mean, I'm never going to hate on just getting 10 AoE resist. He's a guy who would be susceptible to getting popped. Maybe he'll be a little less susceptible to that now with the 10 more AoE resist. And there we go. There is the preview for the units that are getting their upgrades this week. Again, I think it's a big week for Wind. Sodally and Flagbearer Glassy getting that love. Oh my goodness, that's a big deal. So there it is. Let me know how you guys feel about these units in the comment section, especially if you are a Sorel player. I'm a big Sorel fan, haven't used her in a bit. Maybe I'll revisit her next cost limited if I could get off of Earth. I've just been playing so much Earth lately, but maybe Wind's time. The Earth's time might be, we'll see what this does to like those Earth walls that you run into sometimes. All right, I'll catch y'all later. Peace.